What's up YouTube, Pizzscn here. Well, in this video I'm going to be showing you guys how I go about solving the V-Cube 7. Yep. Now, the method that I use to solve the V-Cube 7, it's the same method that everyone else does, but I execute the steps differently. And I'll be explaining what I mean. Now, the method that I use, and the method that pretty much everyone uses, is known as the reduction method. And it's called the reduction method because all you have right here is a 7x7. Alright? And, well, it's solved right now, but it will be scrambled. But essentially what we're doing is we're taking that scrambled 7x7, and we're solving it in such a way that we're essentially turning it from a 7x7 into a 3x3. And then we solve it the same way as a 3x3. So that's the reduction method. And the way that you'd go about doing that is you start by solving each of these 5x5 centers here. This 5x5 block in the very middle is the center. And you solve that first. You solve all 6 of them. And then you go about pairing up all 12 edges. These 1x5 blocks here. And so you pair up all those, and then you have a giant 3x3. That's how it works. Pretty simple. So without further ado, let's go ahead and scramble this and begin. Alright, there is the scrambled cube. Now, let's go ahead and solve it. Alright, so the first thing, like I said, that you do to go about solving V-Cube 7 is you start by solving each of the 6 centers along each side. So that's what I'm going to do. Now, most people go about solving the centers by starting with a 1x5 line in the middle, and then they make another 1x5 line to go next to it, and then they make another one to go next to that, and then they do that again. To me, though, that takes way too long. The way I go about doing it is a little bit more complicated, but it works better for me, and I think it goes by a little faster for me, too. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to start off by making an inner 3x3. I'm going to start by solving the inner 3x3 portion of a center, and usually when I go about solving big cubes I'll start with the green side, so just to keep the consistency going I'll just start with green here. So I'm going to start by solving this inner green 3x3 block. Now you might be thinking, oh, so what you're going to do is you're going to make a 1x3 line to go in the middle, then you're going to make another one to go on the other side. Actually, that's not true. I'm actually going to start by making 1x2 lines. So I'm actually going to make the middle 1x2 line, as you can see right there, my 1x2 line. Alright, and the reason why I do that is because they tend to form themselves. Now, in this case, none have formed themselves, but if none have formed themselves, it literally takes like 2 seconds to make one, if even that. So there's another one, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it right next to that one. So now we have this little 2x2 bit there. Alright, so now I'm going to use one more. Again, one has not formed. Sometimes they just don't form, but again, it takes like 2 seconds to make another one. And I'm going to put that next to that. So now we have a 2x3 block, and we're going to finish it off by making a 1x3 line to go at the end of it. So there's a 1x3 line. We're going to put that right there. And there we have our 3x3 inner center thing there. So that is, that's that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually extend this into a 3x5 line. And what I'm going to go about doing that is I'm going to start by making 2 1x3 lines to go here and here. And I see this one's getting pretty good, but that is a 1x3 line, but I can't use that because it won't line up correctly. There's no way for it to line up correctly. So I need to find, here we go, bring that right there. There is our 1x3 line. Ignore this. That's the 1x3 line. And now we're going to put that right there. So I bet that sounded really confusing, I'm sorry. But basically I'm going to make another 1x3 line to go at the end of this. So there's that one. I'm going to put that next to that. Just like so. So there we have our 3x5 piece made, 3x5 block. Now I'm going to finish solving the center by making two 1x5 lines to go on either side. So it's pretty simple. Actually, it's not going to work. Put that there. Let's see, there's that. So there's one 1x5 line, if you can see that, right there. And I'm just going to put that next to that. Alright, now I'm going to remove all these green pieces from the bottom there. So now it's free of green pieces. And make one more. There's that. Put that right in here. There we have the green center completely solved. So after we get the first center done, I immediately start doing the opposite center, which in this case is blue. Alright, so you might be wondering how I go about doing that. I actually go about doing it the exact same way. Start by making the inner 3x3 center, and again I do that by making one little 1x2 lines. So there's that, and up there's one that automatically formed itself. See, they just tend to form themselves automatically. But I guess I got unlucky with the green center. Sometimes you get unlucky, but you know it's pretty good. And now I'm going to put this 1x3 line right up here. But you might be wondering, when I bring this up here to fix that, it'll mess up the green. Well, actually, I'm just going to bring this like that, and I'm going to replace this one with that. Rotate this around, and what this will allow me to do is revert the green center. And in the process of doing that, I will complete that. Hopefully that wasn't too confusing. But there you go. Now I'm going to make the 1x3 lines to go on either side of the little 3x3 thing we just made. Right there. So there's one. And I just put one right there. As I was explaining that. So there's our 5x3 line there. And now what we're going to do is we're going to finish it off with the two 1x5 lines to go on either side. So, whoa, that is a weird pop. There we go. Alright, let's see what I was doing there. Alright, I guess I just turned it too fast, but I guess I hadn't, dang it. I guess I hadn't started doing that yet, so. So there's that. And again, just like before with this issue, we're going to bring this around, we're going to replace this with that one, rotate, and revert the center back, and it'll fix that for us. So, now we have the green and blue centers done. So at this point, what I like to do is I like to look around the cube, around the perimeter, I guess, of the cube, to find the next center to make. And what I'm looking for is I'm looking for centers that either have 1x2 lines formed in the middle already, like this black one here, and after I find that, after I see one like that, I start looking for other 1x2s made, like this one. Alright, there's that one there. And so because I've already got this created and that one created, I'm going to start with black in this case. I could start with yellow because that's already created, but I don't see a quick and easy way to make a 1x2 line to continue this. So I'm just going to start with black. Now you might be wondering, alright, so now you're restricted to just the perimeter of the cube. How do you go about solving these? Exactly the same. The only difference is that I am a little bit more restricted because of these right here. We do not touch these, we don't mess with these outer centers that have already been solved in this point, so. Yeah, let's go ahead and solve the black center the exact same way. Alright, so there's our black center complete. Now at this point, I can either start the orange or the red. Now the thing about this, I do not want to start with yellow, otherwise it will really make things complicated. So I am now limited to only doing orange or red. I could do yellow, but that's generally that makes things very hard in the end. So I guess it looks like I'm going to start with red, because I already see I've got that there, and I can quickly and easily make that into a 1x3 line, and then I don't have to worry about making the 1x2 lines. Sometimes I don't have to do 1x2 lines. So yeah, and I actually again do it the exact same way as I did before. So
sorry, can see there. I see. So.
Done deal. So now we're down to our last two centers. Alright. Alright, so for the last two centers I have switched the camera angle here because this will be the easiest way for me to explain what I'm going to do. Actually, I should probably raise it up a little bit. Alrighty, hopefully this won't be too extreme, but I think this is good. So, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to, this is actually a little different than the other centers. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start by making a 1x5 line in the middle, and it looks like I'm going to do orange because I see I'm only missing one piece there as opposed to yellow where I'm missing two pieces. So I'm just going to go ahead and create that. So, this is hideously uncomfortable. Okay, now after that I have that created. Now I'm going to make either an inner or an outer 1x5 line to go next to it. To go next to this. And seeing as, again, this is only missing one, I'm going to do an outer one. So, I'm going to go about doing that by taking this piece, bringing it out of the way, and putting it there. Alright, and then I'm going to insert that there, bring it out of the way so I can then revert the centers. Okay, now what I'm going to do is, now I can make only an inner one. I could make an outer one, but just like I said with the black center, starting with yellow, it's going to make things more complicated in the end. So I'm just going to start making an inner one. So, this should actually, bring that down there, bring this around, and bring that out of the way, bam. So there's our inner one. We're going to insert that right there. This is a million times harder to do than it looks. Okay, now, like, harder to film. Okay, now I have my choice of making either an inner or an outer one. I think I'll do an inner one because I got those ready to go there. So, and then I can bring this around like that, and this. No, that's not going to do as good. Oh, there we are. Bring that around, bring that down, revert, and there we go. Now I'm going to get as many pieces as I can in here, and usually I can get up to 3. If I'm lucky I can get up to 4, but it looks like there's just going to be a 3. So, I'm just going to bring those out, and I'm going to bring that corner in, and I'm going to insert that. Alright, so now I'm lacking these two pieces, and I'm going to insert these pieces into the orange center by using something known as commutators, which is the easiest way to go about doing that. Commutators work the best when there is not much left to go of the centers. And there we go. I have now solved all 6 centers. Pretty simple. Well, I don't know about simple, but simple to me at least. Alright. Now, scoot this back a little bit. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to start edge pairing. Now, edge pairing, the way I do edge pairing is I use the advanced version of the edge pairing method, although it's really just about the same thing as the not advanced, just you don't revert the centers when you're done pairing an edge. But I actually do it a little differently. And I'll explain here. In tutorials, they say, okay, what you want to do is you want to find edges that are already paired up like that, and then you want to get it down to the middle layer, and then you want to get all of the edges into the middle layer, and then pair them up, and then you can insert it. Well, that just seems, and you're probably going, what did you just say? Yeah, exactly. It's a little bit complicated. So, what I do is see these two edges here. This is green. These are two green and red edges that are already paired up. I know they don't look paired up, but they are, trust me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring these down to here. And I see I've already got this one down here, so what I'm actually going to do, I'm not going to waste time finding another edge. I'm just going to put those together. What the heck? I mean, come on, people. It's not that difficult. And it works very well. There's another one. I'm going to insert it. And I'm not going to waste any time finding this one because I'm just going to insert that first. And now I'm going to look for the other one, which is right there. Bring it in. Insert. And there is our completely paired edge. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to find a good edge to replace with. And this is really nice right here. If you see, I've got those two paired up there. And this one's paired up with them too, but it's flipped wrong. But technically that's paired. But we just got to flip it wrong. But that... we gotta flip it right, so that's good. So I'm actually just gonna replace that with this edge. Okay, so what I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna go about flipping this first thing. So I'm actually gonna separate that from this. So I'm gonna separate that. Then I'm gonna flip it. And this is sort of a method of flipping I started doing for some reason. Okay, then I'm gonna put that there, and now it's correct. And I see here, this is really nice. Those two are not only are they, you know, together, they're ready to go into the last two empty slots. So we're going to bring this around here, insert that into the middle layer, and I'm going to insert that. As you can see, now that's been paired up, and we will insert that. And I'm going to replace this. I'm going to put this edge in place of this edge because it's got these two paired edges there, which are blue and black. So there's that. Find some more. There's another blue and black. I am going to put that there. Let's find another. There's no more in the middle layer, so now I gotta resort to the top and bottom layers. So here's one right there. So I'm gonna put it in. Alright, and I'm going to insert that. Where is it? There it is. So there's the other one. Gonna bring it in, and I'm going to insert it. Alright, I'm actually gonna replace it with this one because let's see, I've got. Actually, I have a little bit of multiple choice here. I can either start with yellow and blue, or I can start with black and orange. And I'll just start with yellow and blue because I see I got that piece there ready to go. So I'm just gonna bring this over here. I'm going to insert that, and ooh, I just saw something really nice with black and red. And I'm gonna insert this one right there, and I'm gonna put it where it needs to go. And there's the last one. And bring that there. Now, what I was just saying before, see that? We've got three already paired up there, so obviously I'm going to start with that one. Obviously, that's nice. Alright, there's none in the middle layer yet, so we got to find... oh, wow. Wow, you don't see that very often. That is awesome. I've already got those two ready to go. These are all ready to go. That, honestly, I don't know if that's the first for me, but that's pretty cool. There, we got that one done. That was pretty quick. Alright, now I'm going to, I'll replace it with these, two black and orange edges. And you're not always going to find some that are paired up. I'm just getting lucky here. Sometimes you're just going to have to pick one, even though none of them are paired. And then you're just going to have to start pairing something. Alright, here I am. This one right here, I cannot put it down here because it's obviously flipped wrong. See, if I brought it in there, we have a little mess up there. So what I actually need to do is I actually need to flip this. So I'm going to flip that around, just like so. Then I'm going to insert it, and now I can insert that. Find another one. I guess there's that one. So I'm going to bring this around, and then I saw one right there that's flipped wrong, so I have to flip that correctly, and then I will put that there. I'll use this one because I see, actually I got, again, another like multiple choice with this. But you can see that they both have edges flipped wrong, so I'll start with orange, I suppose. Now I need to, actually need to insert this one over here, that one. Bring this over, and what I'm going to do with this edge right here, actually I'm just going to flip this whole thing. Never mind. I'm just going to flip that whole thing, then I'm going to insert that. There we go. So, yeah, you tend to change your mind a lot when you're cubing, but I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. There's actually two more that are paired up, but again, they're flipped wrong, but I'm going to bring that down. I'm going to put in the yellow and orange, then I got to flip this one up. And when I'm flipping it, I'm flipping this whole row of edges. I'm not just flipping this from here, from there to there, obviously. There we go. That's already full. See, I've got 2 edges to go after this. I'm going to use this one because I got those 2 blue and red edges there, so I'm going to bring that down. Oh, look at that. Well, actually, that's flipped wrong, but I'm going to bring this one over here, put that in. Now I'm going to, actually, if I see a middle edge that's flipped wrong, what I do, I don't do the flipping algorithm. What I actually do is I twist this back, so it's back here, and it's actually flipped right here. Then I insert it, just like that. And then what I do is I take the edge, the side that I flipped, and that I used to flip this edge, and actually turn it back. And it doesn't affect anything. So that's if you ever come across that situation, there's a little tip for you. But obviously that's for people who know how to solve a cube. I could not do it with this edge though, even though it does need to be flipped. I can't just bring this around because that's just going to mess everything up. But only with middle edges will it work. But I just need to do the flipping algorithm on this one. There we are. There's that. I'm going to insert that up here. And I think we have one left. Oh, actually we're done. We have finished the first 8 edges. So I'm actually going to revert the centers at this point, and now we're going to do the last 4 edges. So, last 4 edges. The last 4 edges for the most part are basically the same thing, but you know, just like the last 4 centers, we are a little bit more restricted. We can't you know, do as much, but you know, it's still pretty easy. But the biggest thing is that there's a lot of flipping involved. You have to do the flipping algorithm for pretty much anything you do here. So I'm actually going to do, I actually want to flip this around. That edge, I need to flip that around. And I'm working on, by the way, black and green because those are already paired up. So I'm going to actually put this in here. And I've got to flip that so I can have this empty space in the way of this thing I need to revert so we don't mess that up. So yeah, a lot of flipping here. Now in this case, I'm actually going to bring this one, this edge right here goes there. However, I can't just put that there because it's going to flip that wrong. So what I actually need to do is I need to bring its home to it. So I'm going to bring its home over here. Alright, and then I'm going to flip this. This cube is getting a little loose. There we are. Now it's in its home and I just bring it back and there we go. So there. Again, this one, if I brought it in there, well, it's in there, but how am I going to revert this back? You know, I mean, I can't do anything. So, what I generally do with this is I'll bring this, I'll turn that twice, so that this is now there. And again, I'll bring its home to it, because I can't put it there, otherwise, again, we'll have a little situation. Oops, and that'll just take too much time to fix. So I'm just going to bring its home to it, right there. Just like that. Then I'm going to flip it. Alright, now I can revert the centers, and that's going to put that there. Alright, so there's that. Now I'm going to work on yellow and red. So I'm actually going to bring these 2 over here, despite the fact that they're flipped wrong, because I have a little strategy in mind. So I'm now going to flip this around, and then I'm going to revert the centers back. And now you can see I've got this one here. So I'm going to insert that. So I'm going to actually rotate that around. There's this. And then instead of just inserting this like that, and you can see that it'll flip that, right? I'm actually going to insert it like that. And then I'm going to flip the whole thing. And I'm pretty sure you guys are going, well, what the heck is he talking about? Yeah, but now I can go ahead and revert those back, and it'll actually put those there. So pretty handy. Okay, now for the last one. Again, bring us home to that. Sorry about the lighting. I did this video now, so I would have the lighting, but hopefully it's still pretty easy to see this. Rotate that back. And there we go, we've got that and that. The last 2 edges. Here we go. Let's see, is this a nice case or is this a not nice case? Actually, this appears to be a nice case. What I'm going to do is we're going to take this part here, I'm actually going to bring this back here, so it's back there, and I'm going to put this in place of that, like so. Alright, then I'm going to flip this like that, and I'm going to bring those back. So now I've got that done, but we have a little situation here. Bomb, 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 bomb. What are we going to do? Well, this is, it's a phone, that's what it is. Okie dokie, I'm back. So, like I was saying, some people would call this a parody I don't call it a parity. It's impossible to have a parity on an odd number cube. That's what a parity is. It's a case that cannot occur, well actually technically what it is a case that cannot occur on the 3x3. Yes, this cannot occur on the 3x3 at all, in any way, shape, or form, but it's not a parity. It's just a mishap, and it's instantly detectable. Parities are not instantly detectable. But anyway, that's a video for another day. All I'm going to do, the reason why people call it a parity is because you have to fix it using the same algorithm that I use to fix a parity very similar to this on even number cubes. So, what I'm going to do is we're going to do that algorithm right now. Whoops. And there we are. Fixed. Okay. Now, it might not look it, but this is now the equivalent of a 3x3. Alright? So, what I need to do now is just solve it like a 3x3. And the way you can think about it is that each of these rows of edges that are each of these 1x5 pieces here stop burping, are the same thing as a single edge piece on a 3x3. And like I said before, these giant 5x5 blocks in the middle are the same as the center, and these corners, well, obviously, yeah. So, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a black cross, because that is what I'm looking at right now. Black cross. And I do not mean that to, what am I thinking? I don't mean that to offend any religious groups or anything. It's just what happens to be a black cross. Alright, so there's that. It doesn't look like much of a cross either. But now I'm going to do something called F2L. Now F2L is a little bit interesting. Basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the first two... Good grief, the lighting is bad. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do the first two layers at the same time, basically. That's what F2L means, first two layers. So it's kind of hard for me to explain, especially with this bad lighting, but basically what I'm going to do, I'm going to pair this with that. Alrighty, bam, and then I'm going to insert it. Just like so. It's a little bit hard for me to explain it, so I guess I just won't. So there's this one, pair that up, insert, and wait, see this one, that's split up, and bring that down, bam, bam, bam. There's that. And the last one is also paired up, which is nice, but we just need to separate it. And this is not the most efficient method of doing that, but there you go. Now I've got the first two layers done. Very nice and easy. Now we got to do the last layer. Now I do the last layer the same way beginners do, but over the summer I do plan to learn something called OLL and PLL, but that's, again, another video. So, I'm going to start by making a yellow cross, which seems a bit more appropriate, as opposed to a black cross. So there's our yellow cross. Now I just got to line up the edges. Or excuse me, we've got to permute the edges so that way they are in the correct places, like that. Now I'm going to position the corners to be oriented correctly. Also, I got to do that again. So there we are. And now I just got to rotate the corners. Whoa, that was bad. And boom. That is how you go about solving or at least how I go about solving, come on, spin. That's how I go about solving, what the heck? Whatever. The V cube 7. So, that's all. Hopefully you liked this video, and it's a very long video too. At least I think it is, so I'm just going to stop here. Thanks for watching, adios.